I would like to start this off with a quote from one of my favorite TV shows, Doctor Who. Everything ends and it's always sad, but everything begins again too, and that's always happy. This is a quote from the 12th Doctor, and the reason why I chose this quote is because my topic today is Buddhism. So, reason why I wanted to do this subject was mainly just because growing up, I kind of grew up learning this specifically, but I never really understood it completely. So I would like to enlighten all of you to this wonderful religion. I am not trying to convert you. Trust me, I am an atheist. All right, so I'll be talking over the specifics of this religion, the gods, and also superstitions. So let's start this off with the wonderful history of Buddhism. So first off, I would like to start off with this man. His name is Siddhartha Gautama, or I'm not sure how to say his last name. He was a prince, he was really wealthy, and he was extremely pampered. Although I would have to say that while he was growing up, he was a pampered man. While going through one of the villages in a carriage ride one day, he kind of saw the repercussions of his lifestyle. Because the village he went through, he saw a lot of illness, he saw a lot of elderly people, and he also saw a lot of people who weren't getting like the things they need, such as food, water, or anything like that. So he lived up to about 200 years. He spent 6 years in India and spread his knowledge for about 165 years. And he continued on doing that throughout history. So next I'm going to start talking about the specifics of this religion, such as gods, goddesses, and like the order they come in. So first, I would like to start off with Devas and Braham. Braham is the god of like good, light, and all this other junk, while Devas are kind of like the gods of evil and kind of like that dark voice you hear like telling you to kill your brother in the night or something. So next is the Kinnaras, which are half bird people, and the Nagas, who are half snake people. These are technically deities because they are half gods. So just like before, Nagas, bad, heroes, good. They're also the ones that judge you when you die, so be careful. Lastly, there's the Garuda and also the Dharmapala. So these guys are not necessarily good or evil. The Garudas are the ones that transport you to the living, the afterlife, or to be judged. And then the Dharmapala are the ones that kind of protect you on the way there and on the way back. So let's start off with the superstitions. So one of the bigger superstitions is don't take photos in the Buddhist temples. This is like a really big thing because ghosts do live there. So yeah, this is like if your family kind of wants to give you a home in between the transport of like going up to heaven and going down to going down to purgatory, they kind of live there for the time being. And then another one is that you have one soulmate. Every 10,000 years, you will be able to see them, or like, as in like they'll reappear as your soulmate, but in between that time, you will interact with them not as a soulmate, more like a person you pass by on the street. You see them, you don't talk to them, all that kind of junk. So another superstition is that, or not really superstition, more like the belief, is that there's a little red book that we have. It is technically our Bible. It is renewed every single year in the month of February. It doesn't necessarily give you like what the Bible does in Christianity, where it's like, here's all the stories and all that junk. It's more like what the Buddhist monks have learned within that time frame and like how your luck is going to go within this year. And just to close this off, I would like to end with a quote from, I forgot his name, I think it was Mark Twain. Yeah, it was Mark Twain, and it is, do the things that you fear the most, and the death of fear is certain. All right, thank you.